feel like everything that they're doing right now just isn't, everything that they've been doing for so long is not working anymore. It's just not, nothing's acceptable. Old relationships and old patterns of behavior and habits, and like none of it's fucking acceptable anymore, and it's all changing. It all has to rapidly change, like now. And that's been really hard for people because, you know, we're creatures of comfort, and we don't like to be out of our comfort zone. We don't like being told, you know, that we have to change. We don't like to, you know, some of us thrive on that, some don't. But when your entire life is like shifting completely all the way upside down, it throws everyone for a loop, you know? And so it's, be gentle with yourself through this, and just know that yes, big transformations are happening, but it's not the end of the world. So, on to some more cards. Sometimes when I'm shuffling, I feel like sometimes I just get this feeling like this deck is done for a minute. I think this one might be it. Might be on for a different one. I might pull out some of my Oracle decks. And usually, I mean, this is how I feel when I do readings. And it just depends, even when I'm doing in-person readings. You know, a lot of times the cards are just a catalyst for my spirits to talk and then get me. It's kind of like my spiritual drink, right? Like the cards help loosen me up a little bit so that I can, you know, send the messages that I need to. All right, so we've got trust and playfulness. This is not unusual that these have come up. As far as the playfulness, I think a lot of us are just too damn fucking serious sometimes. And I was listening to a podcast. This guy is amazing. I absolutely love him. And so for those of you who don't know, his name is Shaman Durek. And he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And he was talking about how he has a sticker book and that he and his friends play with stickers and toys and like, and I got to thinking like, yeah, you know, I need to play. I need to play with my inner child, and I need to let her come out. And who says because I'm an adult I don't get to play, and that I can't go to the toy store and pick out something that my inner child wants? You know, I want that damn Barbie, I'm going to go buy the damn Barbie. If I want a coloring book that's not an adult coloring book that has, you know, the Fraggles, then, you know, that's what, sorry, that totally just dated me. But that's where it's at, is like playfulness. And so many of us get so serious that we don't allow ourselves to play. And I think that there's an awful lot of you out there, myself included, that need to do a lot of healing work around inner child stuff and embracing our inner child, and then children, and then coming from a place of being a healthy parent to ourselves, and maybe the parent we never had or the parent that we wish we had. You know, God bless my parents. They were great. They raised me as beautifully and wonderfully as they possibly could. They were human. They had flaws, but you know, my life was pretty good, but I still would parent myself differently. And I think that that's something that's okay to say. It doesn't mean that they parented me badly. It's just that I will parent my inner child a little bit differently than they parented me when I was a literal child. And so I think a lot of us just need to be playful, and we need to let our inner children come out and play. We need to have playmates. We need to have play dates. We need to, you know, just get out and be a kid. And trust in the process. You know, trust that that's, you know, that's hard. Children are, you know, if we were hurt as a child and have any sort of trust issues, it makes it very, very difficult as an adult to allow that inner child to come out, because we're worried like, oh, you know, are you going to be someone I can trust? I don't know. And I think a lot of us have trust issues to begin with. But this whole process, this whole shift and transformation that's happening with the collective right now happens to just be a trust fall. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that, but it's like, you know, you close your eyes and you just like fall backwards and know that you're going to be caught, that the people around you who love you and support you are going to catch you, that your spirit guides are going to connect and catch you. And, you know, so we're all safe, you know, we're all really safe, but it's learning to come from that place of safety and trust, because a lot of us have bad experience and don't always feel that way. So, excuse me as I take a drink of my coffee. I am a black coffee connoisseur. It's decaf though, because lately caffeine's been screwing with me super bad. So, but it's still good coffee. It's just decaf. All right, I'm going to pull from my Deviant Moon, which is, Amanda hates this deck because it's really creepy, but I absolutely love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks because it does show the darker side of the moon. And that's one problem that a lot of people have in this world. And I will not, this is where I am a no bullshit. Not everything is love and light. And not everything is, just think happy thoughts and manifest good things and all that. Yeah, you can do that, but you have to embrace the shadow side, because without dark, you can't have light. Without the shadow, the highlights don't pop, right? And so you can't have one without the other. And so embracing your shadow side and seeing that it has a purpose, and that the shadow things within, all of us have a purpose, right? Sometimes I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she said, I like my shadow side. And I thought, I kind of like my shadow side too. My shadow side sometimes likes to get me in trouble. And so I have to keep that in check. But I also have to understand they're getting me in trouble because there's something that is needing expressed that I'm not expressing on the outside. And so it just opens my eyes to what needs to be worked on. All right, so we're coming into some big love. So some of you are feeling... Who of you is hoarding love? It's like you're hoarding all of this love and you won't... is mine, and you don't share it, and you have so much to share, and you have so much love to give, and you're just not giving it. And you have to stop, because you can't hoard all of it, because you're not hoarding it to give it to yourself, but you're not giving it away either. And I'm not talking necessarily romantic love. It could be platonic love. It could be love of an animal, a pet, a plant, but it's like you're so guarded that you're not allowing this love to flow. And I think once that starts to happen, I think that some of your blocks and insecurities will stop being so prominent in your life. Got a lot of cups coming up here. And so, again, be a little more generous with your love and affection. Start with yourself if that's where you have to start. Sometimes that's the hardest place to start. And maybe that's the best place to start for some of us. But give it away slowly. You don't have to just love all over everybody. But don't hoard it all. Don't hoard it all, because we each have a gift to give to one another. I'm sorry, I keep scratching my face. We have so many pets in this house, so there's dog and cat hair everywhere. Anyhow, but in giving this, you will be able to receive so much more, right? It's one thing that we can't keep what we have without giving it away. If any of you understand what I mean by that. And it's really true. Like any of the wisdom I have or the love that I have, if I don't share it with others, I can't keep it for myself. It doesn't work that way, right? And so continue to slowly let the love out, let the love shine. Some of it too, we're back to money. And so a card popped up that really feels, so many of you feel like money is out of reach. Like it's just out of reach, and it's like a carrot being dangled in front of your face. And, instead of clearing the obstacles so that you can get to it, you just keep poking at it with a stick, I can't really reach it. Instead of doing what you need to do to climb up and get it. Sometimes we need to take a few uncomfortable steps forward or backwards or up or down in order to get the things that we want and need and deserve in this life. And so for those of you, there's big money waiting. There's big money in abundance waiting. You just have to do the work that it takes to get to it. I think there are some of you that just feel like you're shit on. You just feel like it's not. So there's an energy. It's a mother energy, and it may or may not be a literal mother, but it's like this mother energy that smothers and keeps you down. And like you were always told that you weren't worth it. You were always told oh, that's a lofty dream. You can't do that. That's not realistic. That's not going to pay the bills. That's not going to da 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 da. And it's time to push away that energy, right? Go back to that inner child and reparent that inner child to say, you know what, I am worth it, and I can have all of these things, and I can have a dream job, and I can do, you don't have to be stuck in the 9 to 5, and you don't have to look at money as a carrot being dangled in front of your face, and etc. So what I would suggest is that you go back and look at that inner child and reparent it, and take that what's the word I'm looking for? Like oppressive and domineering mother energy. And like I said, it could be literal mother. It could be, something that you just view as being higher up in the food chain than you, boss, what have you. But it's like breaking free from that and realizing that you are worth so much more than whatever that person, place, or thing did to make you feel like you were not. Okay, so there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be some fighting. There's going to be a few of you that once you stand up and you realize that, like, oh shit, I am the bomb, and I can do these things, and I can have these things. There's going to be a lot of haters, and that is really tough for people who are ascending, people who are awakening, and there are going to be haters, and there's nothing that you can really do about it other than just kind of, not literally, but figuratively, spit in their faces and like, you know what, I don't need that. I don't need you. See you later. And in doing that, you're going to have so much more confidence. You're going to have so much more. I love the word abundance because it does incorporate so much more than just money. Usually when I'm talking about money, I'll say wealth, right? Because abundance can be so much more. Like, we think we need money, but sometimes we need just the security that comes with what we think money will bring, right? Like, sometimes just having, a meal that tastes good and is comfortable can give you that same sense of satisfaction. So it's not always the money that we're looking for. So when I'm talking about like money, like cash money, usually I'll talk about wealth. And abundance can mean that also, but it can mean a lot more than that. And so many of you are coming into a place of abundance that you're not accustomed to. And so it's going to be really uncomfortable because you're used to being uncomfortable. You're used to making do. You're used to having this sense about yourself, and it's really hard when that shit gets stripped away, because then